Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Sunchild Tarot and welcome to not your traditional monthly readings. I hope I am going to get time to do the monthly readings this month, but I'm going to do these ones first, and then of course we've got the eclipse coming up and I've got quite a few hours at work, so I'll get out what I can. There's a few things I wanted to do. Now, if you've watched me for a while, you know that I like to use a lot of decks. I always like to test myself. That's why I fairly constantly get new decks. And there's when I used to teach a tarot course, some 20 years ago, I used to say to people, you can use anything for divination, as above, so below, as within, so without. In a holographic universe, everything is contained in a piece of everything else. There's so if you wanted to use cutout photos from OK and Hello magazine, assuming that's a symbolism that you are familiar with and that you're comfortable with, crack on, you do it. So obviously with that sort of thing, you need a symbolic alphabet because you're going to have a limited amount of photos. Now, I've wanted to do, and thanks to the eclipse, I think, has finally given me the courage to do this on YouTube, is I've wanted to do a reading using also Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Now, I've never actually played. I've tried to play, but I love the Yu-Gi-Oh anime. I love Yu-Gi-Oh. Full stop. I love Yu-Gi-Oh. Now, with this amount of cards and more to come, no doubt, because I'll probably start shopping for them now. The worry about a symbolic alphabet is not quite as intense. So, because there's plenty to work with. And I was flicking through them the other night and just like, oh yeah, these will be perfect. It's about time I decided to do it. Now, last night I decided to have a look at YouTube to see if anyone else had done it. And I found a video from a Tony Ziegler who did a video about talking about using the Yu-Gi-Oh cards for divination and then never did another video again. So, has Tony Ziegler been co-opted by the Shadow Games? Now, if you don't know what I mean and you don't know your Yu-Gi-Oh, the whole idea is based that apparently this is an ancient Egyptian tradition where they were basically having astral battles with called the Shadow Games. And so these are supposedly all related to ancient Egyptian gods and what have you. Although they were ancient Egyptian gods that seem to be completely made up for the show, but who cares? What a beautiful image these Shadow Games are. Apart from when they're not, but everything has its good and its bad side. So, assuming that I don't get co-opted by the Shadow Games and whipped away somehow, you will see these videos. But it should be fun. Now, as ever, it's a general reading. General reading rules apply. Do not give away your power to a tarot reader. I should be telling you stuff that you probably already know. As ever, I will say take the reading as a whole or not. I'm going to be using the Celtic cross this time. There's a past and a present in that spread. If the past and the present do not fit, don't try and make it fit. Go and watch your moon, go and watch your rising. In fact, always try to watch your rising, and so you don't have to listen to my blurb a second time. There is a timestamp down in the description to get past it straight to the reading. Now, also down there is a link to a birth chart, two different online birth chart generators if you don't know what your rising sign is, because that's something that if you have your birth time, you need to know it. Now, also down there is the Facebook page for this channel. Now, that's got its own inbox, so if you want to approach me for a personal reading, that's the best way to do it. There is also a link tree there for my email and for my Tumblr and for all different other Twitter. But seriously, Facebook inbox is the best way to get hold of me. Now, as ever, I would say ask a question prior to the reading, pause the video, think about all the questions that are around you and be aware of all of them. Focus on one of them, but be aware of all of them. Cards will answer what they want. Now I am trying to grow the channel, so thank you to my returning subscribers, and If you are new here, welcome, and feel free to press the subscribe button while you're passing. And also, a like helps each video get seen. And I'm rather hoping, I'm so looking forward to doing these Yu-Gi-Oh readers. Now, there will be a couple of Oracle cards in as well, because I can never resist these. But yeah, that's about it. So like I said, general reading, timing's not absolute. Other people, if they turn up in the reading, I see actions and energies, so maybe I get you and them mixed up. I don't think it happens that often. And nobody, I always say, if it does happen, comment down below, let me know. And nobody has done yet. So yeah, let's crack on. I'll bring up your cards. Okay, Leo, it really looks like shadow work time for you. We have Spirit bringing in here, which is normally a dreaded card, the Three of Swords. But as I lay the cards in the reading, it looked very much like this was like a growing awareness of some form of pain, some form of distress, something that you already know about, you know what I mean? So it's not any bright news. But then this was clarified by the Yu-Gi-Oh deck by Ceruli, Guru of the Dark World. So it's almost like that some pain is reawakened, mainly for you to actually examine it. That's the main thing. Now, this is probably through some form of message. Page of Wands here, clarified by infected male. Let's have a look. It can attack. Yeah, it's just a general monster card, spell card. Sorry. But yeah, it's almost like there's some news that comes to you, and the prevailing wisdom is just ignore it. And we have the High Priestess here opposing you, clarified by Athena. Sorry, hold it up the right way. Athena. So using Athena as the symbol of the goddess of wisdom, which is what she is, it's almost like it's like circumstance is calling you to just ignore it and crack on with whatever it is that you're doing. And you're in a cracking on mood. We've got the Ace of Pentacles as the how you are feeling. You're feeling flush with this new beginning, clarified by the Faith Bird, which rather makes me think that it's not just a new beginning that you are starting, it's a new beginning that you are deciding on, that you are creating. It's like, this is what I'm going to do, and I have the faith that I can succeed on this. However, what this card spread is saying is to complete the transformation, Judgment, on the bottom of the deck, that there's this shadow work to be done, there's something to be healed, something to be resolved, let go of. I mean, it figures with the recent lunar eclipse, which is all about letting go. And it seems to me to be a consequence of some choice that you had made, that, you were caught on the hop. It was a choice that you had made that you suddenly had to go, well, there was pressure. It was like, decide now, and it's like, that option is not good, that option is not good, but I've got to choose one of them. I don't know which one I've got to, but this is in the past. This is a decision that you've already made. And now it's time to look at the consequences. However, I'm feeling really, really good at this. What Spirit's giving you to work with, we have the Moon card. So there is that sense of, there's a sense of balancing, i.e. the dichotomy in the Moon between the tame and the wild. But there's also the sense of there is some illusions, but I rather think dispelling illusions. It's clarified by the Fisher spell card. Let's see what this says, which is... okay, it's destroy one face-up monster your opponent controls that has the lowest attack. If it's a tie, you get to choose. So it's nothing particularly special within the Yu-Gi-Oh deck, but it's almost like there is a chance to drive a wedge between inaccurate perceptions and actual reality. You know, so again, there's maybe there is some pain or some now programmed knee-jerk reaction that can upset this transformation. Because let's have a look at even the healing card, the oracle cards are on this, saying the same message, because we start with Chiron, representing woundedness, and obviously astrologically Chiron will represent healing. But there's also that sense of Chiron as a teacher. Chiron was a teacher to heroes, so you are being led through this. So whatever this potentially poisonous message that turned up, it is not ignore it, drop it, walk away, leave it alone. It's pay attention here, because this is a wonderful opportunity to actually, well, the phrase I've got in my head since I just used poisonous message is suck out the poison, and stop it polluting your mind. We have, along with Judgment on the bottom of the deck, we have Scarab with spiritual transformation. So there is this new beginning that you are wanting to start has to have this shadow work done so that you can fully take advantage of what you rightly have faith in here. And then we finish with Satiel, Angel of Silence, which on one level makes me think that this is an internal process that is going on. But another level is that it's one of those things that if you do not pay attention, it will become more and more and more and more obvious until you really do have to deal with it. So how other people react, someone around you appears quite defensive, but there is also a sense of they may be defensive, but that's because you're stepping towards them as an equal, which might not have been the case before, either in your head or in theirs. I'm not sure where the imbalance there was, but somebody appears nervous by the fact of you coming to terms with whatever this is. Now, I'm not saying that is they are nervous because they will suffer by you coming to terms with it. They might be nervous just because you're going to be preoccupied with coming to terms with this thing, or there may be some other reason for the nerves, but it is bringing you up a level, and you're worried, can you actually balance everything? Because it's like with Slacker Magician here and the Two of Pentacles, you are wanting to negate. Yeah, it's saying the same thing, isn't it? Because the Slacker Magician, was it once per turn, the card cannot be destroyed by battle. During either player's turn, when a card or effect is activated for that that targets this face-up card, you can negate that activation, and if you do so, destroy the card. So it's almost like you want to negate this message. And I would say, no, process the message. The message may be true, the message may be false. That is irrelevant. The message itself is irrelevant. But what it brings up is for something for you to face and just finally put to rest. Because I really like your final outcome cards. We have the Ace of Cups. So a new dream, a new love, a new passion, a new idea, this swell of creativity, a swell of security. And also, if you think about the clarity around the Ace of Cups compared to the mistiness and I suppose mistiness is but the murkiness and the illusions of the moon, things get clearer, and they get clearer by you doing this shadow work. And this is what you was having faith in the first place. These are the final steps of your preparation. Now, this is clarified by Chewbone, which is a sort of a skeleton dog thing. Now, this can summon other creatures, much like it's sort of like Chewbone puppies, that it will cast across the field. But there's also that sense of what I saw with it is discarding the bone. It's like getting rid of whatever the poison in this male, in this infected male page of wands message was. Getting rid of that poison, sorting it out through the healing, the shadow work, becoming immune to that poison, and being able to protect yourself from such nonsense in the future. So all in all, that's really positive, as long as you do not run away from facing all the weird feelings that come up in the first place. They are not, well, they are there to be felt, but it's not like they're there to be felt and to be dwelled in and to be acted on. They're there to be felt and examined and then resolved, discarded, however you want to call it. So all in all, that's a really, really positive. It gives you the tools to create this new beginning that you are already having faith in. Yeah, that's really nice, Leo. So if it means anything to you, comment down below. Obviously, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And thank you very much for subscribing if you have already, because I'm trying to grow the channel and it really does help. There will be monthlies this month. However, it's probably the eclipse readings that will come out first, because it's going to be a busy month. Right. I probably said that in the intro. I apologize if I did. So if you like this Yu-Gi-Oh style reading, comment down below, because these are actually quite fun. It's a different vibe to reading with just the tarot, but they are fun. So hopefully you enjoy them as much as I do. All right. Cheers.